Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that the video is going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine, as you can see. Kisumu is fantastic. And maybe you could also let me know where you're watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, Martha Karua has officially stormed out of Azimio La Umoja One Kenya alliance. According to Martha Karua, her stay in Azimio is no longer tenable because Raila Odinga has allowed members of ODM party to join William Ruto's government. And that move by Martha Karua, in my view, is significant political speaking for two main reasons. Number one, Martha Karua was Raila Odinga's running mate in the last election.
I have the great honor to announce that I have picked as my running mate and Cabinet Secretary for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, the Honorable Martha Karua.
Which means Raila Odinga has lost the running mate. Number two, Martha Karua is one of the Azimio core principles, which means now officially Azimio has started disintegrating. This is the letter which Martha Karua wrote to Junet Mohammed, who is the Secretary General of Azimio La Umoja One Kenya Alliance. Junet has actually received the letter, signed, and actually stamped it. It says, Honorable Junet Mohammed, Secretary General, the Azimio La Umoja One Kenya Coalition Secretariat, Parliament Building. Dear sir, notice to exit from Azimio La Umoja One Kenya Coalition. Kindly take note that our stay in Azimio La Umoja One Kenya Coalition is not tenable due to the prevailing political developments. As Narc-Kenya, by way of this letter, we are giving notice to exit the coalition as stipulated in the exit clause in the coalition agreement. This notice is effective from the date of this letter. Yours sincerely, Asha Bashir, Acting Secretary General, Narc-Kenya. So by that letter, Narc-Kenya has officially exited Azimio La Umoja One Kenya Alliance Coalition. Azimio La Umoja One Kenya Coalition. And the question which I'm asking, do you think Azimio was going to survive? Because let us just go back a bit. In 2013, there was CORD. CORD served the purpose. In 2017, there was NASA. NASA served the purpose. In 2022, there was Azimio. Azimio served the purpose. Which means in 2027, there is likely to be another coalition. So for me, I've always believed that Azimio La Umoja One Kenya Alliance served its purpose. But the move by Martha Karua, in my view, is significant political speaking. Martha Karua was nominated as Raila Odinga's running mate in the last election, but failed to deliver. The choice of Martha Karua was because of the following. First of all, listening to Raila Odinga, how he really voted for Martha Karua.
A few years later, she became the youngest woman to be elected a member of parliament in central Kenya. And she went on to serve in the capacity for 20 years. Of these 20 years, she was a cabinet minister for 6 years, serving in different portfolios. The woman we offer as the proposed deputy president is also known to have incredible credentials in the fight for our second liberation. In 1990, for instance, I was arrested and placed in detention without trial. At that time, very few lawyers were prepared to represent me. But this woman, then a young lawyer, led a team of 27 lawyers to defend my legal detention. When I moved a motion in Parliament to set up a select committee on constitutional reforms and was deserted by my colleagues in the opposition, only she and the late George Moseti Anyona stood by me. This woman is a fighter and is not a quitter. This woman has a safe pair of hands, seasoned by the struggle for our second liberation and service to the country in many capacities. This woman has a beautiful soul as exhibited by her love and passion for her children and grandchildren. This woman will be a great co-creator and will make a remarkable first Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. As a co-worker, I want her to finalize the unfinished business of making our Constitution. And I want this done because when the late Mwai Kibaki and I put for the 2010 Constitution, we admitted that it was a work in progress and it needed some further work. Because I am a man of my word, I will task her with the assignment of completing what we started.
For the record, Uhuru Kenyatta didn't want Martha Karua as Raila Odinga's running mate. He really wanted Kalonzo Musyoka. But Raila Odinga insisted on Martha Karua. Personally, I've always believed that if Raila Odinga had picked Kalonzo Musyoka, probably things would have been different. And Kalonzo Musyoka also made it very clear during that time that if Azimio were not going to appoint him as the running mate, then they were going to lose. But Raila Odinga picked Martha Karua because, number one, Martha Karua's reform credentials. Remember, they were facing William Ruto with Rigathi Gachagua as the deputy president. That ticket and reforms were totally different. William Ruto has never fought for anything, has never stood for anything, and therefore they thought that Kenyans were going to vote based on the reform credentials of Raila Odinga and Martha Karua. That did not work. They also picked, Raila Odinga also picked Martha Karua because of the women votes. He believed that by nominating Martha Karua as a woman, the women folk in the Republic of Kenya were going to rally around Martha Karua. I doubt if that happened. And of course, Raila Odinga also picked Martha Karua for Mount Kenya votes. Remember, he wanted the reform credential, which Martha Karua ticked, the women vote, which he thought Martha Karua was going to tick, and then using the same stone to kill two birds, the Mount Kenya votes. Martha Karua did not deliver the Mount Kenya votes. The truth of the matter is that in her own polling station, William Ruto got 911 votes, Raila Odinga thing got 300 votes. So it means Martha Karua did not deliver the mountain. As a matter of fact, the votes Raila Odinga got from the mountain, in my view, were as a result of the efforts by Uhuru Kenyatta. And probably that explains why Uhuru Kenyatta was more comfortable having Kalonzo Musyoka as the running mate. But that's now water under the bridge. And of course, Raila Odinga also believed that Martha Karua was going to help attract funding. You know, women always get funded during the campaigns. And the fact that Martha Karua was now a woman, the possibility of having a woman deputy president was going to attract funding. I'm not so sure whether she was able to bring that. But Martha Karua was defeated on the day he defeated Rigathi Gachagua. So for me, I'm not surprised that Azimio is now collapsing. In fact, the next video I wanted to do was what next for Azimio La Umoja One Kenya Alliance. I did this, I think, some 4 days ago. And I remember opining and advising Kalonzo Musyoka that the best thing he can do is now to start crafting his own coalition. Because even in Azimio La Umoja One Kenya, one thing has been consistent. Martha Karua has always avoided any meeting where Kalonzo Musyoka is present. Any Azimio meeting, which has always been held at Wiper Party headquarters, Martha Karua avoided. So which means Azimio was going to come to an end. But before we get into the details why Martha Karua decided to quit Azimio, in case you are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. And again, before I dive in, allow me to also introduce you guys to Lemfi. Lemfi is a mobile money app for users in the UK, Canada, and the United States of America to send money to Kenya. They offer the best exchange rates, and the money will be delivered instantly into M-Pesa accounts in Kenya, into Airtel Money, and of course, if you want, directly into your bank account. You can use the link in the pinned comment to download the app. Ladies and gentlemen, why do you think Martha Karua has decided to quit Azimio? Because we are talking of a situation where we have Azimio coalition. There is Kalonzo, there is Kioni, there's Wamalwa, there's Wajakoya the Fifth on one side. Then there is Raila Odinga and ODM on one side. ODM as a political party is just a single party within Azimio La Umoja One Kenya Alliance. Why do you think Martha Karua has decided that her stay there is no longer tenable? Because for me, with their numbers as other core principles, they had the opportunity of kicking out Azimio La Umoja One Kenya, of kicking out ODM party from that coalition. But is there anything called Azimio minus ODM party? So for me, Martha Karua has decided to quit because, number one, she's trying to position herself to win the support of the Gen Zs. You know, Gen Zs led protest in the Republic of Kenya. And those protests is what forced William Ruto to dissolve the cabinet. So when Raila Odinga was appointed to the, when Raila Odinga allies were appointed to the cabinet, there's a feeling that they took advantage of Gen Z protest. As a matter of fact, the majority of Gen Zs are not very happy that Raila Odinga agreed to join government, because according to them, they had cornered William Ruto, and therefore Raila Odinga is actually coming between them and William Ruto. So Martha Karua is now exiting Azimio because she's trying to win the support of those young people. I don't know. Do you think Martha Karua will be able to win the support of those young people? Because Martha Karua is a politician. In 2027, probably Martha Karua is going to be on the ballot. So that's number one. Number two, Martha Karua is also keen on preserving her reform credentials. Now, Raila Odinga is now being accused of dancing on the graves of the young people. Remember, apart from these Gen Zs, before all this, we had the NATCO, which also gave these guys a lot of problem. At some point, Raila Odinga was even targeted for elimination. Those are the facts. And it took the intervention of very many powerful forces for those demonstrations to be called off. So like, you stand for reforms, you fight for them, then you join government. So Martha Karua, in my view, is keen on trying to preserve her reform credentials. And of course, number three, Martha Karua, as a matter of fact, is a Narc-Kenya leader. If you check the records, you'll realize that Narc-Kenya does not have a single member of parliament. Narc-Kenya does not have a senator, women rep, maybe if MCS not more than 3. So that means there is no way Martha Karua was going to push Azimio or ODM for that matter out of Azimio. Because for those to happen, probably they were going to convene a meeting, members of parliament. So you have a meeting of Azimio and the majority of members are members of ODM. Then you want to kick them out. In fact, if Azimio were to exit, if ODM were to exit Azimio, that would be big news. But not Martha Karua exiting. Because for me, I don't think there is impact there. Number 4, in my view, is Martha Karua is also keen on charting her own political path. And she's gotten a very good narrative that she's living because of Raila or ODM. The truth is, Martha Karua is keen on winning the support of the mountain. And the mountain will produce a presidential candidate in 2027. And they're going to rally around that candidate. And that's why Martha Karua is exiting Azimio. You see, the mountain is not very happy that Raila Odinga and Azimio are in government. And the fact that Martha Karua has now decided to exit, that is going to sit so well with the Montel. So she just wants to chart her own political path away from Azimio. And lastly, Mount Kenya politics. If you look at Mount Kenya and 2027, where do you put them? Do you think Mount Kenya will still vote for William Ruto? For me, there's no way Mount Kenya will vote for William Ruto in 2027. But they'll definitely produce a presidential candidate. And who will be that presidential candidate? Those are the reasons why Martha Karua has decided to quit. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.